Aloha, everybody. My name is Russell, and today I want to walk you through a quick case study that honestly represents a lot of self-employed couples and working families here in Hawaii. People who are working hard, building income, and trying to build a home, trying to build a future. But underneath the surface, they're one unexpected event away from losing everything they've worked for. This isn't about hype. This isn't about getting rich quick. This is about protecting the ability to keep building your life. So let me show you a real world example of how one simple protection strategy could completely change the outcome for a family if life suddenly went sideways. All right, let me tell you about this hypothetical couple real quick, Jason and Malaya. So Jason and his wife Malaya live out here in Hawaii. Both are self-employed, no kids yet, just two people trying to build a better life together. Jason owns a pressure washing business, and Malaya does hair and freelance social media work on the side. And honestly, on paper, they look like they're doing good. They were making money, posting beach days, little staycations, date nights, talking about buying their first home. But behind closed doors, they were stressed because every dollar already had a job: rent, gas, equipment, groceries, credit cards, business expenses. And everything depended on Jason being healthy enough to stay work every single day. That's the part most people don't see with self-employed couples. If you don't work, the money stops. Then one morning, Jason gets a call from his cousins, and his cousin sounds shaken up. He answers, "Hey man, what's going on?" And his cousin goes, "Uncle David has passed away." Jason's like, "Wait, what happened?" "Heart attack. Happened this morning." Now keep in mind, Uncle David was only 48 years old. Self-employed, contractor, homeowner, main provider for the family. And then Jason asked the question everybody asks. He had life insurance though, right? Silence. Then his cousin says, "Nah, nothing." And that hit Jason hard. Because within weeks, the family starts a GoFundMe, mortgage payments start piling up, and now they're talking about selling the house. And Jason keeps thinking, our life looks exactly like theirs. Same hustle, same pressure, same we'll figure it out later mentality. Then a couple weeks later, Jason tears something in his shoulder, unloading equipment at job site. At first he tries to work through it, but after a few days he can barely lift his arm. Can't finish jobs, can't work full days, and all of a sudden the money slowed down fast. But the bills did not. That's when panic hit. Him and Malaya are sitting in the kitchen table one night going through bills, and she starts crying. And she says, "What happens if this gets worse? And then, what happens if you can't work for 6 months?" And then she asks the question that really hit him. Are we one accident away from losing everything? And honestly, like many, the answer is yes. Because most self-employed families don't have an income problem. They have a protection problem. Making money and protecting money are two completely different skills. So if Jason would have reached out before things got bad, this is the type of protection strategy I would have wanted to help him put in place. At the end of the day, making sure you put protections in place before something unexpected happens, just to make sure that all of your hard work is protected, is the type of conversation that I think needs to happen if it hasn't already. I would be more than happy to help you like I've helped many Hawaiian families in order to get those protections in place and to better understand your options. Does this feel like you? If so, we can put together a simple plan and discuss further. If I would have spoken with Jason, I would have set him up short term, protect the income, cover the essentials, create breathing room if something happens. Long term, protect the home, protect Malaya, and protect everything that they were building together. Because real life doesn't care how hard you work. One injury, one diagnosis, one bad moment can change everything financially if there's not a plan in place. So let me show you a hypothetical example of what something would look like for Jason and Malaya. Now, this is just an educational example, but if you are self-employed, building a business, buying a home, and people rely on your income, this might hit a little closer than home than you think. So at the end of the day, this really isn't about a policy. It's about making sure one hard moment doesn't destroy everything you've spent years trying to build. Now, the next few slides are just hypothetical examples, so you can see what protections can actually look like. Here I'm showing what I would put in place for someone like that case study, Jason and Malaya. $750,000 for a 30-year term could look like something like that for pricing. And on this end, protecting the income and making sure that they're taken care of could theoretically look like that. We would like to go over that information with you and kind of see what kind of protections we can put in place for you and your family. There are two kinds of protections, but they both have the same purpose. And it's not necessarily what coverage costs, but how the income could be protected and how families here in Hawaii are using these strategies to protect themselves and their future. And honestly, most people are surprised it's a lot more affordable than expected. If you want to see what something personalized could look like for you and your family, there's a link below to schedule a quick conversation with me. No pressure, no hard sell, just education, clarity, and seeing what makes sense for your situation. Aloha, and I'll be talking with you soon.